Today I'm going to be reviewing a Bible from Holman, and I have reviewed this text block before, but it is being re-released in a new cover edition. So this is the He Reads Truth Bible, and I was excited to see this one again because I have the She Reads Truth Bible. Many of you know I've read through that in a year in my rose gold edition that I have, and I love that. I still have it, and I also reviewed the Handcrafted collection of the She Reads Truth, which came out in like a green color, very pretty. If you haven't seen it, I can link my video in the description in case you want to check that out. But this is the He Reads Truth Bible, and this one is in the Holman Handcrafted collection. So it comes in this nice box. And in case you're not familiar with the text block, a little more information about it. It has 66 hand-lettered key verses, 125 full-color charts, infographics, and illustrations, 17 full-color timelines, 21 full-color maps, curated reading plans for every book of the Bible, one-year Bible reading plan, detailed book introductions and outlines, a key verse list. It is a sewn binding, it's line-matched, it has wide margins for note-taking, and then it also has Bible serif typeface. It's designed for optimal Bible reading. All right, if you want to know more about He Reads Truth, you can also visit hereadstruth.com, just mentioned on the back here as well. So this is kind of like a cloth over board feeling box here. You can just flip it open, so it's really easy to open. And then I'm going to grab the Bible out of here, hopefully with minimal shaking of the camera. All right, so this cover edition is a brown leather. Very nicely done. Reminds me a little bit of the Premier collection from Thomas Nelson. And then we have 3 double-sided satin ribbons in kind of a cream color. We are going to have gold, kind of like a, I don't want to say red. It's lighter than that. But we'll just say gold gilding. And there also is perimeter stitching. On the spine, you're going to have raised spine hubs. We have the little symbol for He Reads Truth. We have Holy Bible, Christian Standard Bible, and Holman. It is an edge-lined Bible. We're going to get a presentation page. Let me move the box out of the way so I'm not fighting with that the whole time. And there, of course, are many other cover options available as well. There's black leather touch, saddle leather touch, the brown genuine leather, which I believe is what we have here, the evergreen cloth over board, charcoal cloth over board, and then this actually might be the premium calfskin leather. I think that's what this one is, because this is the handcrafted. So yes, that would be the one we have here. There is another genuine leather as well. All right, and then we're going to get an introduction to the He Reads Truth Bible. We're going to get a table of contents, a list of the books of the Bible and what page to find each one, an article on how to read the Bible, what is the gospel, and then it goes over the key features, which most of those I did highlight when we looked at the back of the box. And then you're going to get an index for the different charts, illustrations, infographics, lists. So if you're looking for something in particular, you can find it here. Okay, we get a genre guide, which gives you like the Pentateuch, historical, wisdom and poetry, minor prophets, major prophets for the Old Testament. And the New Testament is broken into Gospels, church history, Pauline epistles, general epistles, and apocalyptic. Get the languages of the Bible, an introduction to the Christian Standard Bible. Love the CSB translation, highly recommend it. I've used it a lot. Okay, and here's where we're going to see the verse art at the beginning of every book. And then our book introduction, we have on the timeline, a little background, message and purpose. And then we have give thanks for the book of Genesis. We also have our key verse listed down here. Read and understand Genesis. Now, I have reviewed, like I said, the He Reads Truth Bible before. I've reviewed the She Reads Truth extensively. And I've also compared them, I believe, as well. So I can include those videos in the description in case you want to dig a little deeper there. But this is my favorite feature of these Bibles, and that is the reading plan. So you get a reading plan like Genesis 1 to 3, but then you also get going deeper verses. In this case, John 1, 1 through 5, and Romans 16, 20. And I have read through this entire reading plan in a year in my She Reads Truth Bible, and I love it. I love how you're reading through the Bible, but you're also making connections to other books and verses in the Bible. So I really love that. This is probably my favorite read through that I've ever done, which is saying a lot. We're going to get an outline of the book. Sorry, my dog decided to wedge himself behind the chair that I'm sitting in. So if you hear weird noises, it's him being needy. Sorry about that. He's 13 years old and he still acts like he's like a newborn puppy. Anyway, and then we're going to have the scripture here. So the chapter numbers are pretty big here that you can see them. Here's an example, better example. Verse numbers are smaller, but not impossible to find. It's a paragraph layout and single column, which I love for reading. You're going to have that space in the margins. Definitely, like I always say, test out any pens you want to use just in case. Like have a tester page in the back. Because, I mean, the pages, they're good. I don't think they're super thin or anything, but they're also not the thickest I've ever felt. So just test them out before you use anything. I think this would hold up pretty well to highlighters. I didn't write in my She Reads Truth Bible. I'm kind of strange about that, I know. But when I read through a Bible, I don't always like to highlight. I will in some of my journaling Bibles, but I feel like when I go back, I don't like to reread it with the highlights. I know I have some strange issues, but I don't usually do that. So I didn't highlight in that one because I did want to possibly come back and read through it again in the future. So that's why. Here we have a chart of the days of creation. You can see our headings are bolded. I didn't see the font size on there. I think this is 8.75, if I'm remembering correctly, or it's really close to a 9. It's not big, big font, large print, big font. Large print is what I was trying to say there. But it is line matched and the line spacing is done pretty well. So to me, it reads a little bit better than that. It really depends. I can still read smaller print Bibles. I just don't like to do it for long periods of time. And like I said, I did read through the She Reads Truth, which is pretty much the same as this one, font-wise. And it didn't bother me. So it's not large print by any means, but the way it is laid out makes it a little bit easier than some other smaller fonts that I've seen, if that makes sense. So here we have lifespans in Genesis. We have a map here, Abram's journey. So I did do a comparison video, which like I said, I'll link. But the She Reads Truth Bible has the devotionals throughout, where this one seems to have more charts and maps. So it just kind of depends. I feel like this Bible, a woman could use as well. The She Reads Truth, I mean, a man could enjoy that one, but maybe not as much. The reading plans, I feel like they're the same. So, I mean, that's great. But the devotionals might not be as appealing to a man. Again, not saying you can't enjoy them, but they might not be as much. But I feel like the He Reads Truth could go either way because, I mean, women like to see charts and maps and graphics too. So that's not really going to affect whatever gender you are. It's not going to really turn you off to the Bible, I guess, or make you not enjoy it as much. So here we have Jacob's 12 sons. Let's skip ahead a little bit here out of Genesis. I really do like the layout of this Bible, though. I enjoyed that when I read through the She Reads Truth as well. So I feel like this Bible has just enough. Here's kings of the northern kingdom of Israel. It's always helpful to try to keep all those kings straight, because I'm not going to lie, I've read through the Bible a lot, and I still can't keep them all straight, so, definitely helpful. This Bible doesn't have an overwhelming amount of information, but I feel like it's just enough, especially if you're doing a read through. You know, you mostly want to focus on your read through of the scripture with a little bit of extras thrown in there, like the maps and everything. This would also be great for a husband and wife to go through together, you know, maybe the husband having the he reads truth, the wife having the she reads truth, so you can kind of have the best of both worlds, having both Bibles with the devotionals. You both have the reading plans. This is key people in the book of Esther, by the way. But they're all, and then you also have the devotionals, so you kind of get the best of both if you each have one of the Bibles. He reads truth and she reads truth. We're in Psalms. Here's a guide to themes and proverbs. Let's go ahead and go back to the New Testament now. Okay, here we are in Matthew. This is a black letter text. All right, let's go to the end of the Bible now. The verse art is also different in the She Reads Truth. It's a little more colorful, girly-ish. Not that that matters, but just pointing that out. And I don't think there's a lot at the end, but there is some things I want to show you. So we have all the key verses listed out by book. We have fingers that don't like to turn pages. Oh my goodness. Come on, fingers. We're almost done. You can do it. Wow. There we go. Whew, I'll get there. I'll get there eventually. All right, this is a thicker Bible, so we're getting to the end. It's getting a little heavy on my arm here, so I apologize. And my fingers are just deciding not to function right now. Here we have the Bible in the year. This is I'm going to butcher this, but M. Cheyenne plan, Mchewyne. I know I've heard other people reading that reading plan before. I'm very sorry. I'm not good with pronouncing names. But it gives you the date, and it just numbers them so you don't have to start. I mean, it does say January, I guess, so just kidding about that. But you can start anytime. You can check off the boxes, and it wouldn't matter then. But it does have them labeled by month. I missed that when I first looked. So date and then the reading. For example, day 1 is Genesis 1, Matthew 1, Ezra 1, Acts 1. I didn't follow this plan when I went through the Bible. I just started in Genesis and went through the Bible and used the reading plans at the beginning of each book. So you have 2 reading plans in here technically. I used the other one because I wanted to have those digging deeper verses. That was really important to me, so that's why I went through that one. But this looks like a great plan as well. Table of weights and measures, contributors, and then we have some blank pages. So these could be tester pages back here, not the card stock, obviously, but the pages that are, feeling like the Bible, same as the Bible pages. And then we are at the end of the Bible, and in the beginning, I did mention genuine leather and calfskin leather. This is the calfskin leather cover. All right, so that is the He Reads Truth Bible. Very nice. Would make a great Christmas gift or birthday gift for a man in your life. Like I said, this kind of feels like the Premier Collection from Thomas Nelson, kind of similar to that feel. This is the Holman Handcrafted edition. The She Reads Truth is available as well in a green cover, which I can post that link as well. I'll try to post all my He Reads Truth and She Reads Truth links so you can dig a little deeper should you choose to do so with some other review videos that I've done. But these are really well done Bibles. I love the She Reads Truth. That's the Bible that got me into the CSB translation. And if you're not interested in watching my comparison video, I kind of mentioned this in passing before, but the main difference between them is the She Reads Truth has the devotionals, and this one has more of the charts and maps in it instead. Both have the same reading plans, so you could, read along with your husband or, whoever, and in both Bibles, and you have the same reading plans, so that's really nice and convenient. The layout is very similar. The verse art is a little different. The girl, She Reads Truth is a little more girly, a little more colorful. But yeah, they're both great Bibles. Highly recommend them. It just kind of depends on what you're looking for. If you want that more devotional Bible, where this is more, it's not like a typical study Bible with all the study notes, but it has more of those other features that a study Bible would have, like the infographics, the maps, etc. But I highly recommend the reading plan. That is what at the beginning of each book, that's what I love the most. So again, this is the He Reads Truth Bible. This is the Holman Handcrafted edition, and this recently came out from Holman.